we need to talk about Shedeur Sanders and his camp, which I think is mostly just his camp, already having some tiffs and some feuds with the Cleveland media and directly with the Browns themselves. So this all started about a week ago when this clip from ESPN Cleveland made its rounds on social media with Tony Rizzo and Aaron Goldhammer talking about this video of Shedeur Sanders going to a Cleveland high school. And it was Goldhammer and Rizzo talking about their distaste for how everything needs to be documented on social media as if it's all for the publicity. And you can see someone from Shedeur's camp quote tweeting it saying Shedeur did not post anything, kind of putting the onus on the camp for sharing that, and it's not fair to blame Shedeur for something he did not post, which I completely agree with. I feel that very often the actions of the camp are associated with the player itself. And while maybe that's true or fair some of the time or a lot of the time, maybe not all the time. And maybe this is one of those instances where Shedeur was just going to a school in his new city and someone from his team videoed it, since I kind of feel like that's their job. I'm not entirely sure. When we use the broad term of Shedeur's camp, who's in his camp? Like, really, is it his friends? Are they on his payroll? I like to think it's just the entourage cast. But I don't really know if that's actually what it looks like. So that's what kind of got this going here. And then we got some more Cleveland media members chiming in, like Ben saying members of Shedeur's camp are already going after local media members. Maybe he's a perfect fit for Cleveland after all. And that was not well received by a lot of people, saying maybe the players aren't the problem. Maybe the media members are the problem, since they're the one that created a story out of this by turning it into a negative for Shedeur going to the school and it being shared online. So that to me right there was not a video, worthy type of interaction. But then we got this from someone else that is associated and tied to Shedeur Sanders. It was an Instagram story where they said, there's no way Cleveland Browns should have gave number 2 to anyone else, especially to a wide receiver who haven't worn number 2 before in his career. But we know that was coming, so we ain't flinching about it. It was expected. Take it, smile, then make it legendary. Keep going. All right, let's talk about this, because now we've got a couple of, like a Concord and Lexington here where, while there haven't been, major volleys of, fire been exchanged, we do have some sparks. And I think that there are fouls on both parties here. And really, I guess just two parties, because the Browns, I don't think, had done anything wrong. But we'll start the Shedeur Sanders camp side. I don't think it's fair to Shedeur that whatever the actions on social media of his camp are then pinned to him. He's his own person. These guys are their own people. I think it's a little bit of an overreach to go, whatever they do online is a reflection of you. That might be the case. I don't think that's fair, though. All right? Then there's the Cleveland media side. I can, understand to a level that when they've just been covering such a dog shit product since 1999, with the rare exception here and there, that they are a little bit more battle tested. And they're not going to be as sunshine and rainbows as some other teams' beat reporters who have had a lot of success because they've been down this path before. I still don't think it is fair to Shedeur to create negatives about the guy when he went to a local high school. Yeah, maybe it's not your cup of tea to have everything he does filmed and posted, and it kind of creates this illusion of he's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart, but he's doing it so he's on camera. If that's the worst thing about the new Browns quarterback, that he likes to have a little bit of attention on him, oh my God. Think about the last couple of quarterbacks the Browns have had. And think about where that con stacks up against maybe a certain someone who got a $230 million contract and their biggest flaw. Which one's worse when it comes to stacking up the cons? So I don't think it's fair for the media members. I don't think it's right for the media members to get all worked up over that. I don't think it's fair for people to place the blame on Shedeur for the actions of his camp. But if we can go back to really quickly that last Instagram story, because there was one part of it that kind of caught my attention, and it was, we knew this was coming. Well, now we got some straw man arguments here, right? Now that you're tossing this out there, you're sort of tossing fuel on a fire that didn't exist. You're saying before he even got his jersey number, we anticipated our guy being disrespected by the team. Why would you believe that was the case? They drafted him. Why are you creating beef saying we knew this would happen to us? Now I feel like Shedeur goes into that locker room. He goes to meet the coaches, and while it's not fair on Shedeur, there's going to be this, preconceived idea and makeup of him as a person that he's someone who has a little bit of a hissy fit when he doesn't get what he wants. I don't think that's great for Shedeur to step into, Berea and have people already thinking, oh, he didn't get his jersey number, and he already knew that he wouldn't get it. He's a bit of a drama queen, right? That's probably not the best foot forward when meeting with people beyond just the GM and the head coach. Because as fans, we associate the team with just the GM and the head coach. As players, most of your work is not with the GM or head coach. It's with your position coach, right? It's the quarterback coach, then it's the offensive coordinator. Like, those are the guys that you're meeting with day in and day out. And then the head coach and GM are overseeing everything. So you might have met with Stefanski and Barry a lot, but now you're starting to get to know some of the other offensive coaches more. And those are guys you haven't met before. And those are guys that look at that and go, you got to be kidding me. Before this guy even gets here, he's already having a meltdown because he didn't get his jersey number? You're a rookie. Pick up a whole bunch of helmets and shoulder pads and get to the back of the line. Those are things that I don't want to see Shedeur run into because of the actions of others. And that's my fear right now. One quick question before we get towards the end of the video. Speaking of the Cleveland sports media, and not doing this to cherry pick for myself, who is your favorite reporter or your favorite spot for Browns content, whether it's a whole show, whether it's just one individual? I'm just curious. I feel like a lot of media members do a lot of great work, and I think it's good for them to get some recognition. So let me know in the comment section below. Let's switch gears just slightly and talk about the offseason in general. Just some schedule notes right now as we're filming this during our live show Wednesday afternoon. Rookie Minicamp gets started very soon. That's May 9th through the 11th. This is syllabus week. This is freshman orientation. This is, all right, get in the school bus, and we're going to go on a field trip around the building. Here's the locker room. Here's the trainer's office. Here's the bathroom. Here's your playbook. Learn it, and we're going to test you guys tomorrow. We're going to find out who decides with a little bit of extra money in their pocket goes out, and who decides to stay in the hotel and come back the next day and know every single play possible and blow us away. This is not, all right, we're going to find out who's starting for us. No, that happens in training camp, right? This is orientation. Schedule release date comes out on May 14th. That's next Wednesday. And then OTAs begin on the 27th. They're on and off up until June 16th and 19th. And then mandatory minicamp runs in the middle of that from June 10th to the 12th. This is, I think, a better idea for the rookies of, hey, who stacks up where, right? Who maybe has a real chance of pushing for a starting role, and who's going to be someone we have to work on in practice and in training camp. To refresh your memory, here are the 7 picks the Browns made in the NFL draft, going with Mason Graham and Carson Schlesinger and Quinshon Judkins. This will sound real. This will sound weird. 3 Big Ten players in a row, including a UCLA guy. But I do want to highlight 2 just to toss out there as under the radar guys. Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee. I'm very excited for where the Browns got him in round 4 when I thought he could be a round 3 guy. So from a value perspective, I like the pick a lot. But also from having a nose for the end zone with 22 rushing touchdowns last year, tossing in a couple through the air as well in his Tennessee career. nearly 1,500 yards, doesn't have a ton of usage on him, only a one-year starter for Tennessee. You can see just 422 career carries. For reference, Quinshon Judkins, he's at 800. So half of the usage, which means he's going to have maybe a little bit more spring in his step before he gets to the NFL. So Dylan Sampson is a name I'll toss out there as a guy to, just file away in the back of your mind if you want to sound smart in front of your friends of, hey, who's a good sleeper for the Browns rookies? I think that guy to Tennessee could be half decent. The other reason why I'm excited about Dylan Sampson is this ground game is hopefully going to get back on track. Now, if you want to get a Quinshon Judkins jersey, a Shedeur Sanders jersey, a Mason Graham jersey, all those jerseys for the rookies are available at chatsports.com/CLE rookies. I put that link in the comments and description of today's video. So if you want to add to your Browns jersey collection, I'm talking to you, Joshua Miller, chatsports.com/CLE rookies. The other rookie I want to highlight is the tight end out of Bowling Green, Harold Fannin Jr. If the Browns did not select Shedeur Sanders, I feel like these guys would get a little bit more airtime. But of course, all the airtime is going to go to Shedeur Sanders, number 1, Mason Graham, number 2, and then I'd say Dylan Gabriel 3, Quinshon Judkins 4. So Fannin and Sampson have fallen off people's radars, but I'll take this opportunity to go, don't forget about these guys. They were really good picks. Fannin last year had 1,500 yards, 150 targets. He led the country in all these metrics, receptions, 10 touchdowns as a tight end in the MAC. You think MAC offenses are designed to force feed tight ends? No. Harold Fannin is a very fun pick. I'm really excited about this one right here. He is a yards after the catch monster. He's not going down on the first piece of contact. It's going to require more work to take him down than that. So Sampson and Fannin are two names just to file away in the back of your mind here as some really fun picks. I think Fannin can push to be that tight end 2 early on in training camp. All right, that's going to do it for us on today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's pick a card to wrap up today's show. But anything else? Did I forget something? Oh, who's your favorite rookie? I forgot my own show. Yeah. Which rookie do you think is going to have, the most production this year? I'm going to say Quinshon Judkins. He's the 3rd pick of the class, but I think he's going to see the ball the most for anyone on offense, and I think from the defensive standpoint, he'll have a larger role. So give me the rookie out of Ohio State, Quinshon Judkins. All right, now let's pick a card. I'm hot right now, by the way. Twice this week.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, twice this week.
All right, let me.
What do you think?
Let me go off the beaten path.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going 2 of hearts.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling dangerous. I'm going to go 10 of hearts. Just so everyone knows, no cheating. One more cut. 10 of hearts.
If you get this, I'll buy you dinner.
No free dinner. 5 of clubs. 5 of clubs. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see everyone later.